Hello everyone, welcome back. Good to see you. Paul Tranny here with Brad Basham, the one and only, day 2, Photoshop magic. We're gonna be diving into that today. So welcome Anna, and Tim of course, and Ryan, and Huxel, and everyone. Shubham, and also if you're new, fairly new joining us, feel free to say something in chat. We wanna just give you a warm welcome. Brad, we appreciate you hanging out and being with us for day 2. We didn't scare you away, apparently.
Not yet.
Day. Not yet. The key is to not let them leave the studio. That's one thing we've learned. We've locked him in here. Yeah, he's been here for the past 24 hours. But how you doing, man? How you feeling?
Doing great. Feeling good.
Feeling good.
Ready for round 2.
Round 2, live streaming. Yeah. So, and just so everybody knows, we do have a challenge going on today. You can check out the challenge tab. And we'll just be doing some random chat and win giveaways as well. So it's going to be good. Want to welcome Chris, Charlotte, and Braxton. Good to have you here, and Dune as well. Awesome. Good to see some new names. So yeah, man. Could we actually even, I don't know if you have it open, like kind of what you, actually I'll let you just take over.
Okay.
I mean, I have an agenda. I just want to make sure you show what you did yesterday, because I thought it was really cool.
Yeah, okay. Well, first of all, I promised you guys that I would work on it overnight and, you know, show you the finished version. Of course, I didn't do that. But I will, I promise.
But you already, like, yeah, you had it kind of finished yesterday anyways. Did you want to do, you wanted to do close. A little more with it? Okay.
Of course, yeah, there it is. So this is what, I guess we should open the PSD. That's what I did yesterday.
Yeah, look at that.
And yeah, at some point I'll go in there and fine tune it. Hopefully, I'll do it tonight so that I can show you guys tomorrow. Okay. Yeah, I don't know. We went pretty quickly to do this, so if anyone has any questions, feel free to chime in before we move on.
Yeah, I will say, I think for me, I think the biggest thing I learned yesterday, and by the way, check out that in the replay tab, you can check out all the replays, but biggest thing I learned is how you made that water transparent. It's that layer mask, which you used a channel and turn that into a layer mask, and I thought that was like really clever.
Yeah, let's see if I can find that in here somewhere. Yeah, the original water layer looks like that, and the city comes from, I guess we gotta turn off my effects. There we go. And that's the darkening layer, I think. Yeah. And then brighten. Nope, that's not it. That's that guy probably, yeah.
Yeah,
both those
right there, see, look at that.
That's simple.
Yeah, I mean, that really did a lot there, so awesome. And yes, Brad is on Behance, just so you know. You can actually go right over to the info tab and you can start following him, just FYI. So yeah, he is on. It is.
Brand new Behance page, sparkling clean.
Brand new, yes. I'm into it. I actually love all your work. Feel free to jump in there and follow him, like his work, all that good stuff.
Yeah, please do.
Awesome.
So for today, well, yesterday I kind of pre-built the comp and you know, wanted to get a specific thing done. Today I thought I would wing it a little bit more. So I've only done sort of this much basically with this image. We'll probably do a little bit less than this, but we'll see how many slices we can get to. Each slice is going to have a kind of a different graphic treatment was the idea. Okay. So I wanted to do something that would let us explore a lot of different ways to treat an image.
Very cool. Yeah, so I'm into it.
Let's just dive in. Let's see. Strips. So I liked this image. I searched Adobe stock for I think just portraits and looked for some with lighting that I liked and kind of an interesting character, I guess. So we're gonna start with that image and then see what happens. Let's close this guy.
Justin noticed that you had 34 messages on Messenger on your desktop. So if we could just go through all those real fast.
Yeah, let's do that.
No, let's not do that.
I gotta clean that up, don't I?
I thought you were actually gonna click it. Like, no.
Bad idea.
Oh.
Let's see. I opened the wrong file here. Let's go to Elements Masked. So I did pre-mask this because I didn't want to make you guys watch me do it. But I think for this one, I just did. I brushed it in. And then spent some time. The hair is the hardest part, especially with blondes, actually. Yeah, I spent a while. I can show you guys actually how I did a little bit of it. I'm gonna duplicate it just so I can mess it up without any problems. So let's pretend that this isn't masked, or let's do it like that.
Oh, wow, okay, yeah.
And we're just gonna do that little section. So
yeah.
I made myself a brush that's just a bunch of dots. And then you sort of set the brush setting so that it makes a line kind of like that.
Mm-hmm.
And that's sort of where I usually start when I'm doing hair like this. And paint in, you know, something roughly close to what you want. Change the size, maybe the opacity a little bit, try and get some variety in there. And then in this case, I blurred it a few times. Maybe did it again since the image kind of falls out of focus around the edges. So,
okay. So you blur it a little bit as well, like you, or were you use the blur tool?
Just the blur tool, yeah. Sorry, that's I'm using. Actually, I think that they changed the shortcut for the blur tool. Used to be R, but now that's rotate, which I use quite a bit.
Okay.
So I actually went into my workspace keyboard shortcuts and went down to the blur tool and assigned the R to it, or C, sorry. R is rotate. I made C. You can do whatever you want there. I think C was something, dodge and burn or something, which I actually don't use very much. Anyway, then I'll usually take a smaller brush and do a few like stragglers. Oops. Helps if I have the brush tool selected.
Okay.
And so on.
I was trying to think so Sasha, thank you so much for joining us as well. Sasha's in chat. Vinogradova.
Hey, Sasha.
So good to see you here. I think she might have done something similar. I can't remember. I think she did some masking, and but I've seen multiple people do it this way, which just works really well. Which is like, you know, basically you draw in hair to get the look that you want.
Basically.
But in this case, technically, you're not drawing in hair. You're just painting on the mask still.
Oh, right. Yeah. So some people do. Yeah, like I could make a new layer back here, sample this this color, and then use my hairbrush. And now on a different layer, rather than affecting the mask, I'm actually painting in hair, which works pretty well too. It's kind of the same. This just reduces the number of layers that I have.
Yeah.
And now I can. Yeah. What I'll do often is, you know, maybe I've gone past sort of the edge of. Of where her hair ends, you know, roughly. You can always retouch that in a little bit. Oh, I'm on the mask and it's turned off. We'll just do a new layer. So, you know, roughly speaking, you wouldn't want, you'd find a place that has the right direction maybe, and yeah. Anyway, I'm gonna close that because I've already done this.
Sasha's, oh yeah, Brad taught you that technique.
Did I?
Yeah, you
That's
taught
cool.
her. You taught Sasha that.
She taught me a lot more, although, yeah. Okay, so turn this off. I also did some of the basic retouching. I don't like these, I mean, it's fine, but for what I want to do, I don't want all these fruits or flowers
Oh, okay.
on her sweater. So I retouched those and I've done this mask, so that's as much as I've done here. And again, like I did yesterday, if I do a black or a white, the mask looks pretty good. So I'm going to be able to put different backgrounds in on this image and without any trouble. For the first kind of treatment, I wanted to really play with light and do something fluorescent kind of. So I liked this image because it has this sort of, soft light generally, but then this sort of harsher light on the left that I can isolate and colorize, and I'll show you guys how I do that.
Tim's wondering how or if you can show how you remove the flowers, or at least
the
sure. Tool that maybe used a number of.
So it's actually really simple for the most part. There's spots where you got to do a little more finesse, but I used what do they call it? Spot healing tool, yeah. I think. Shortcut J. And just with, you got to have sample all layers, assuming you want to do it non-destructively, which is what I do want to do. So I'm on a new layer here, sample all layers with that spot healing brush. And I just went through and one by one hit all of them basically.
That's pretty impressive.
It's pretty quick and straightforward. Every now and then there's one, like, let's see if I can find one. Like, what's gonna happen here? Got that well. Yeah, sometimes when they're in weird places, you get something.
Oh wow, even that worked.
Yeah.
So that's
a reasonably good example. So like something like that, I might use the clone brush and sample somewhere else and get rid of it that way.
Nice.
But anyway, that's how I did that.
Very cool. Yeah, looks great now, man. Very nice.
Content aware, would work probably just as well, but it wouldn't be faster because I would have to go through and select each of the flowers probably individually, I think.
And effectively, you're already using a content aware tool.
Right.
I mean, that's what the healing brush is.
Yeah. Okay, so I am going to go, let's see, let's turn this to, we'll turn it to black for now. Right? No, turn it to white for a second. I'm gonna go into my channels again and figure out, look for the one that shows this highlight the best. And it is definitely the red channel, which is almost always the case when you're adjusting skin tones. Red has the most detail or contrast, anyways. So I'm going to duplicate that, which was my shortcut again, but that's the same as just I was selected on here, duplicate channel, and then it shows up down here. And I'm going to adjust the levels here. What I want is to isolate the highlight, basically. So I don't want anywhere that the highlight bleeds to another part of the image. And I think you guys will see what I mean. I guess it doesn't help you if I point at my screen on here.
You're gonna have to take that like way down if you're trying to grab that highlight, right?
I am, yeah. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna do it step by step. So what I'm looking at right now is her face. And I want this to fall to black.
Oh yeah, can you go take Photoshop full screen?
Yeah.
Sorry, Dad.
No, I should have.
I do that all the time.
Okay, so starting over on the levels, I want the middle of her face to fall to black so the light's not hitting it. So that right about there does it. I'm gonna commit that. And now, I'm gonna do it again, looking at her shirt. And there, I think we're pretty good right about there. And the hair probably works on the same adjustment, but now I'm going to go to my history palette. And I love this history brush tool. So I'm going to go back to the step I had before, one step before, and then I'm going to mark this next step with the history brush. Or sort of make it the, I don't know, referenced state. And then use the history brush and now paint in, trying not to hit the skin, the shirt.
Because you want, you're going to do some coloring or something with this.
Yeah.
Is what you're doing.
Exactly.
So this is awesome, by the way. I think, you know, painting with this, with a history brush, you don't see this done a lot. So I'm so glad you're covering this. I don't know if we've ever covered it.
All right.
So again, yeah, that's awesome.
So now I'm going to do the same for the hair. I mean, it's pretty good for the hair if I just do the same, but I think I want a little bit more detail in it. So I'm just going to go till that falls to black, which is about there. And then I'm going to do the same thing. Go back one, set the history brush to the new levels, and paint in on the hair. And lastly, this looks a little brushed to me. That's what I'm trying to avoid. I want the image sort of to determine how this fades, not my brushing. So I'm going to adjust the levels again, and just try and get that shirt where I want it. Or maybe, let's see, yeah.
You're trying to grab more of the shirt here?
I'm trying to finesse just sort of the way that, did I hit cancel? I must have hit cancel. Actually, let's see if it looked better in any of those history states. Of course.
And again, just to recap, the history brush, it's cool that you used it that way. You stepped ahead a little bit, did an overall tone basically, and then you go back in your history panel. You mark, actually no, you mark the new state, and then you roll back in the history panel a couple times, and then you paint with the history brush.
Yeah.
I mean, just so, I don't know if I explained it right, but it's really kind of complex.
I guess so. Are people following that all right? I know nothing.
It makes sense to me, because you do the overall tone, but really you don't want the whole thing to have that whole tone. You want to paint with that overall tone. So you made that overall tone, you go back and you mark it, then you go back in history, and then you can paint with that setting. So, yeah, very cool.
So now I'm just going to get that shirt kind of where I wanted it. And lastly, those edges are kind of lame, so I'm going to do it one more time and get these edges a little better.
Tim, did you do a pro tip in the Discord channel on it? That would be awesome to see.
That is, I didn't even know that existed. Okay, so that's pretty good. I am now going to use my layer mask, select that, invert it, Command-Shift-I, and then still in my blue copy channel, I'm going to fill that with black. And then the last step here is to, I don't need that brush, I want just a sort of normal brush, is to paint away the stuff that I don't want. So, let's see, I didn't go quite far enough there. So I'm going to do that, history brush again.
Did you design your own t-shirt?
No, I didn't.
But you could have.
I could have, should have. Okay, so now I'm going to paint away everything that's not those highlights that I want on the left side. And I got to do it one more time. So that is ready to go. I'm just going to leave that there for a while, and now do something to the actual image. So I'm going to duplicate. Let's see. think I want, yeah, this is fine. I'm going to duplicate this document. I've got a shortcut for that, but that's up here in image, duplicate. And I wanted the, you know what, I want to do it with merged layers only. So I'm going to go back into this image adjustments HDR toning layer and play around. So I have found that this is a good way to darken an image and make it look like it's night, kind of.
Okay.
Or at least it's like a stylized way to do it that I like. Because at nighttime there's less contrast than in day. And HDR toning is good at darkening the highlights and brightening the shadows without losing any detail in a way that looks a little bit like nighttime. So I'm going to drag the exposure down, drag the saturation down a little bit, detail. It's pretty good.
Did we just see a preview of what it looked like before somehow?
I wonder, did it do that because I scrolled and it hadn't loaded? I'm not sure.
Maybe,
But you can go like that.
Oh, okay.
Click that
Turn
on
that
and
on
off
off,
if
okay.
you want to see it.
Cool.
But yeah.
There is also a color lookup table, a look that tries to make a photo nighttime too.
Yeah.
I think all it really does is make it look blue.
Right. And those things, they'll work fine, but it only affects the color. And I like to be able to bring out this detail at the same time and have it sort of nighttime, but still
it's called
still sharp.
Yeah, it's called Moonlight, so that's good.
Yeah.
It looks cool, but it's either off or on. You can't control it like this.
Right. So I'm going to call that good. It might be too dark, but I kind of want that. Okay. And I guess I probably won't need to do this again, but it's amazing how often I go through this step and then something changes and I have to do it again. And if I haven't saved this preset, I have to like make these settings all over again. So I'm going to save it, call it night, and now if I have to do it again, it's just going to be there under that pull down menu. Okay. So I'm going to call that HDR.
Looks like Rod Shelley likes it. He does a lot of day to night stuff, so. Yeah.
There's actually let's see, is it on here? It's kind of a cool piece on my website with.
Yeah.
So this was a daytime shot of Westminster Abbey.
Oh,
I
nice.
think it is. Anyway, and then I just had to like fake the inside of the windows and kind of put some glow in it.
That is very clever. I love that.
Thank you.
Well done. That's a great piece.
Okay, so I'm gonna put that in here, and yeah, we'll see how that goes. It does look a little bit sort of too flat and gray, so we might redo that and change the settings a little bit, but this image is gonna change a lot, so we'll see how it goes first. Okay, we're just gonna do a little bit less than black. I'm gonna put a curve on that and a little bit of glow. When you just saw that disappear there, it's because I put a black layer mask on the curve that I just did.
Hello, Bojana. Good to have you here. Thanks for hanging out.
Jeez, sorry. 5th tries the charm, apparently. Okay. How are we doing there? Pretty good. I don't know if you guys have ever had problems with banding. I kind of want to show. Maybe it'll come up later. Every now and then you'll get bands in here, and like they seem impossible to get rid of. If that happens, just add a noise layer and add some noise to your layer mask, and that banding tends to go away. So I'm gonna sort of, as a preventative measure, even though I'm not getting the problem that much right now, I'm gonna go to noise, add noise. Oh, no, I'm not. I'm gonna do a new noise layer. So that's a whole thing. But if I do a new layer and fill it with, so Shift Delete gives you this fill dialog box. I'm gonna go 50% gray, 100% opacity. And then when you put that, I can put that at the top for now. When you put that on overlay, 50% gray goes away completely. So when I turn that on and off, nothing happens. So now to that layer, I can, why am I still, there we go, sorry guys. Noise, add noise, and 5 or something should be good. And I'll put it down here. And you can barely see it, so yeah, it's probably not worth showing online here, but if you run into this problem, you can know it can be maddening. So
yeah, you just, and that's basically, that's a separate noise layer that gets rid of the banding?
And for what it's worth, I have a shortcut, of course, to do that, so I can just hit one button, and it brings up the noise dialog box, having already made the that 50% gray layer for me.
I think you're winning the shortcut game so far.
It's almost an addiction. Okay, so let's start making this prettier.
So we've basically gone from day to night, it looks like, right? Yeah, go do it. Do your thing. And in less than a minute, we might just do a random chat and win giveaway.
Sweet. I'm gonna change this from a curve to a color layer with the same layer mask. It's gonna be darker than that. Okay. And now I'm gonna do kind of the same thing on her. But on her, I think I'm going to do a gradient map.
Nice, love the gradient maps. Speaking of gradient maps, we've got some gradients exploding in the background. Means it's time for Chat and Win. Welcome back, everybody. It's time for Chat and Win. So what that means is you need to just type something in the little chat window, and we will pick a name at random and give that person 100 stickers. So all of Brad's face. Just kidding. Oh.
Nobody wants that sticker.
You don't get to pick the stickers. We send you just all these pictures of Brad's face. Like, that's how you grow a beard. So
a quickly graying beard.
I can't do it. It comes in nice though. I like it. I can't grow a beard. So anyways, if you have beard envy, feel free to chime in, say something in chat, and we will pull a name at random and we'll give them 100 stickers from Sticker Mule, which is awesome. I still need to print out some stickers.
Yeah,
you actually, you're a purist, I noticed on your laptop.
You know, somebody sent me some stickers. I'll change that.
Oh yeah, there you go. Well, you could. I wish you could have won. But who did win is Chris.
Can I chat on my own stream?
Yeah. Chris Charlotte, congratulations, you are a big winner. You get 100 stickers to decorate your laptop or anything, quite frankly. Just go ahead and tag your surroundings, whatever the case may be. So congratulations. Chris, hopefully you're in chat. Either way you win. And not to worry, everybody kind of is a winner because you can get 10 stickers for $1. Just use this URL that you see above us. Adobe Live 19, and you can get 10 for $1, which is like nothing. So
I could like cover my laptop back for $1.
Yeah, almost. Yeah, you could. Yeah,
with
I like that.
Sticker.
Like what? I like the idea of stickers that say like nice things. I want a bunch of nice phrases that I could just slap on people's like, you know, backpacks and stuff.
Yeah.
Like, hey, your hair looks great today. Things like that. All positivity. So anyways. All right.
We back
into it. So now you're actually, are you gonna, okay, yeah. I'm just watching this come to life, so.
Yeah.
I love gradient maps, by the way.
They are a really good way to
awesome.
change color. A lot of people use hue sat layers, but I think the gradient map is a more effective, more, you can control it with a little bit more finesse. Okay, I don't quite know how I'm gonna want this to look yet. The next step will kinda get there. But let's try a little bit more. Yeah, sure. All right, now's the fun part. I am going to go back to this channels palette and make a selection of that channel we carefully made a few minutes ago. And with that selected, I'm gonna go back to RGB mode. And now I'm just gonna make a color layer. So adjustment layer, solid color. And I'm gonna go to like magenta. And let's see why. Oh, helps to be above the layer.
That's what I was wondering. I did. Look at that though.
Bang.
Electric. Zip.
Probably turn that down to like 80%. But now.
So and again, that's just a solid color layer. Is that what that is, right?
It is, yeah.
And then you just use that selection from before?
From before.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's that history channel thing that we did. Not history channel. The
history brush.
The channels.
Did you? Yeah.
Yeah.
It was
where I
just
used the
saved
history
in
brush.
channels.
Yeah,
okay.
Exactly.
Cool.
So it was saved there for later use, and I just came back to it. So back to RGB.
Electric.
Electric.
Love it.
I think I want to put like a little hint of.
You know what I think would be good too? Like, I wish there was another light source on the right side of her. A different color. But I think you're gonna add other colors to this anyways.
I'm gonna add other colors to this thing. So, yeah, we'll see. That's close enough. It's just gonna kind of give me a hint.
Could you actually conceivably throw light on the right side of her? Like, how would you do that?
Right. If I wanted to put right on the light side.
Yeah. Right. That actually made sense to me. I'm like, yeah. Oh wait. Light on the right side.
I would have to fake that, which I have done, and sometimes is fun to do. But
would you do it in a similar way as you selecting the other side? Would you try to select based on?
No, because there is nothing really to select. In that the original image doesn't have.
You really do have to fake it.
There's no rim there.
It would just be you painting on, kind of like painting on a layer. Okay.
So I will. I mean, I can. Let's see if I can do it real quick.
I mean, I just love this effect so much. I want to see it more places. Like I want to see more lights and different lights and all the things. So.
Let's. You know, it's. No matter how many times I cycle through my channels, I always forget where I'm going to find which one, and you'll see me doing this a lot. There I go again. Well, let's just make it green for a second. So just to try and, I don't think I'm going to keep this, but, so I just made that green adjustment layer there and then put a black mask over it. And I would go in here and carefully paint that in a little bit. I'm holding down Shift key to sort of make straight lines between the two places that I click. And then you want, in sort of certain spots you would want a bit more, kind of trying to imagine where the light's coming from and how it would react to the contours of her face. So you can do it that way, but you do get into parts where it's more difficult, where you have to kind of imagine like how it's going to go around the contour of her face. And then I'm just going to, yeah, anyway.
Somebody was asking about like if you had examples of the faked light, and but that's exactly what you do. I also noticed this in your portfolio. If we could maybe switch to my screen. Henley, this is, we're basically learning this technique. You did it here, right?
Yeah, minus the color, but I think I did do the same thing. I did that a couple years ago. I think the original image did have plenty of detail in his face, and I just darkened it all.
Okay, but it was probably, yeah. No, it's cool.
But
I mean,
darkened it using channels the same way that
okay.
that I've just done to keep those highlights like that.
Very cool, man. I like it.
Kind of like this green here, but I don't have the patience to put it everywhere.
Don't sweat it.
But that's how you would go about it. It's definitely better to pull an image that has light coming from where you want it. So the last thing I'm going to do here, I think, is brighten her eyes just a little bit by putting a layer mask on that HDR darkening layer. And by the way, we can just sort of experiment here. So if I do a curve layer and just try to darken the curve, it kind of looks more natural in a way, and maybe that looks just as good, or I don't know. Yeah, so we're going for a stylized image anyways, so I kind of like having the HDR, which, you know,
I do too.
Comparing one to the other, it's just a little bit more detail and vibrance. So that's why I did that. Anyway, so this will probably look a little bit freaky at first, but I'm gonna paint out
making our eyes glow.
just a bit. I mean, right now a lot, but. So I'm painting them in with my brush on 100% opacity. And I mean, that looks pretty cool, but pretty creepy.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna make that. Now I'm gonna put my brush at like 20% opacity, and
take it down a little bit.
Take it down, and try and take it down less, kind of under her eyelashes, where there'd be a little bit more. Take it down more, I guess, where there would be shadow.
Yeah, Rod, this will be available to watch later and over again, this stream.
And I will put these files online before the week is over, so you can, if you want to, open them up. And
actually, Tim's been posting the link to this image so they can kind of play with the original. That's probably the better way to do it.
Yeah.
But can you show just to show the original? Can we kind of toggle between the?
So yeah, an important thing about the way that I work, you should work really, is to work non-destructively. So this image now that we're basing this all on is still in here completely untouched. So I'm gonna drag a copy to the top.
Yeah.
And I do kind of love doing that, to look at the transformation.
Yeah.
It's kind of fun to see.
It's nice. I just love that like electric pink. It's so cool, or whatever color we call that. It's nice.
Magenta, I guess.
Magenta.
So I think I like the way those eyes are looking. Now I'm just going to do one more little thing and bring just some magenta into those eyes if I am in the right place.
And just so you know, while he does that, I want to remind everybody that we do have a challenge going on right now. You should kind of check out the challenge tab, and it's all about removing somebody, something, or someone from an image and replacing them potentially with somebody famous. So we will check those out in less than 50 minutes. Just FYI. Right there you can see. And there it is. You can challenge tab. And then we'll review those in the Discord channel later. So yeah.
This was harder to do than I expected, this little step here. But that's probably good enough. Something like that. So now I'm going to put a black mask over it. And now just with my brush on like 10%, I'm going to paint in some
It looks like she was wearing contacts, huh?
Probably.
Is that what that line is?
It's now going to look like even more like she's wearing contacts.
Oh, thanks, Huxel. Huxel really is getting a lot out of this, and I am too. I think this is just fun to watch this kind of like come to life as you're painting in, and really, your yeah. It's interesting that I mean, you use curves like a madman, and then just either remove or reveal, your curves layer a lot of times, it seems like.
Yeah, a lot. So I think this guy is pretty much done. I guess maybe I'll sharpen it a little bit. So I will, this is the most complicated, hard to do sort of shortcut in all of Photoshop. And sort of strangely, I think I've never actually found it in a menu. Maybe someone can tell me if it does exist. I only know the shortcut for this. So Shift Command Option E on a Mac will stamp all visible layers.
Oh yeah.
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 So
what is that again?
Command Shift Option E.
Okay. So it's pretty much all these lower keys E.
Yeah, pretty much.
Because
so
I
now
don't think that's in a menu
yeah,
anywhere.
I don't
it's
think
not. That's an exclusive here, everybody.
Yeah.
So Shift Command Option E will mash everything on a brand new layer.
Come on.
So then you're gonna do some color treatments to that or something?
We're done with color treatment, I think, for now. I'm just gonna do a little unsharp mask.
Oh, do you do this? Is this your kind of final step? That's kind of what you're doing?
Yeah. It's not always necessary, and certainly not necessary.
I kind of started doing this though. I think it's just to add a little bit of a punch to it.
Yeah. I don't know if you guys can see that online, but looks like you can.
Definitely, yeah.
I might actually bump that up even more and then kind of paint it in as usual.
So there's layer merge visible, but that's going to merge all your visible layers and get rid of everything. So it's very, I never would want to do that typically.
No, avoid that at all costs.
But it is a modifier key from there. Let me actually check.
So the other way, if you were to forget that shortcut, the other way you could do it is select all of your layers, hold Option, or actually show it the even simpler way probably. Duplicate layers. Okay, and then merge layers.
And notice how they're all, it's all Command, and then it's like Option Command, and then it's just holding down that third key will give you your results. Notice down there. So, but yeah, exactly. I'm sure I used to do things that way, is duplicate all the layers and then mash them. Because again, it's not in that menu, so.
Anyway, so I'm just going to paint in that sharpening layer just where I want it, so the focal point stays kind of with her eyes. And I'm going to call that done for now. I'm going to group the whole thing, I guess, and we'll call it neon, dark neon. Does dark neon even exist? Isn't it always bright neon?
I love it.
Okay, so what do I want to do next here? We're just going to kind of start over with this image. So just as a reminder, what I'm going to do is piece together different treatments of this into one image. So what we've just done is maybe one slice here.
Okay.
And now we're gonna do another one of something completely different and some sort of complementary colors,
fun.
hopefully.
Anantha has just a quick select all, just selects everything, Control J, and then Control E. So that works fast for mashing everything on the
Select all, Control J,
select
and then
all
Control
the layers.
E. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, that works. That works for you. It's awesome.
Yeah, so those are just the shortcuts minus one step that I just did. So you just select it all and hit Command, maybe minus that. Command J is always duplicate layer. It's also duplicate layer if you have a selection. So if I do that and I hit Command J on a layer that can be sort of duplicated, now it just did that.
Oh, so I didn't know that did that.
That can be useful. I do that a lot. I think I mentioned yesterday, like if I have an image this big and I'm putting it in a new environment, I don't need all this extra information. It sort of gets in the way when I want to transform it. It increases my file size. So often what I'll do is make that selection, Command J, and now I have that to work with, and there's less stuff. But for this case, I want to keep the sides.
That's cool.
Yeah. Okay, so what did I do here? We are going to, I guess we've got it here, but I'm going to duplicate this whole thing again. And we'll do fire. And now that we're in this guy, I'm going to delete everything but my retouched image. So I guess I'll just take those to the top. Shortcut for move layers up and down is Command bracket. And if I hold Shift, it just goes to the top of a group or a document.
And
I need my layer mask still. So now I can delete everything else.
I was seeing if it was the same in Illustrator.
Is it?
No.
Yeah.
No.
I wish more of the shortcuts in Illustrator.
Command bracket?
Yeah.
So you did? Yeah. So yeah, I'll explore that.
Yeah.
I thought I was going to, but no.
Okay, so now with this one, I'm gonna go in here, grab.
So many tips. Thank you, Tim. Thank you, Mustafa. Just people giving random tips in chat and stuff, which is cool.
Yeah.
Into
Any
it.
questions in there? Nothing really.
No, I think everybody's just like paying attention.
Cool.
Watching you do your magic.
Strips. So I'm gonna open this fire image and put this behind her. Hopefully this works. I haven't experimented with this on this image today, but I want that to be pretty bright and fiery. Don't ask me why this girl is hanging out with all her makeup on in an inferno, but
it's clearly not good for your makeup or for the rest of you.
So let's see. Do I still have? Yeah, I do. So she's a little bit backlit, so we can put maybe just to change it up. We'll do it with curves this time, or yeah. And then I want her to be kind of glowing from the fire a little bit.
Crank up the reds.
I'm sort of curious how. We're just going to try that for a second. I'm going to actually go in and grab that same channel and see what happens if I do this. Yeah, maybe half of that. So fill with 50% white, just foreground color. Yeah. Do another curve to try and get these colors right.
Are you trying to make it look like she's actually like in that scene, right?
Yeah, I am.
And in some cases, it, you know, actually no, I think this is a pretty good image for.
Yeah, it's not.
It should be. I mean, you want something that's kind of backlit since the fire's back there, but it's also daytime. It looks like it's daytime in that situation.
It's maybe this won't work out. We'll see how it goes.
Yeah. But. Hello, 7-Up Design Studio. Good to have you here.
Let's try putting a few sparks in here. So again, these are all Adobe stock images that I just pre-downloaded because I kind of had a sense of what I wanted to do.
Oh,
here.
wow, that's actually does add a lot.
So that's just a pretty black layer. You can still see the edge there a bit. So if I put a curve on that, and you can probably see this curve actually tells me exactly what I want to know, which is that all this information here isn't actually black. It's all super dark gray. So I know that I have to put this over here. As soon as I do that, that black stuff is gone.
Nice.
And let's move that around a little bit.
I guess that's one way to tell if images match is look at, I guess, the curves or the levels. It's like the histogram, basically, to see how if the blacks are black in the photos or whatever the case may be.
Right. We're going to start experimenting a little bit. I guess we kind of have been for a few minutes, but let's try this. I think I showed it yesterday. Edgy amber.
We'll do it again.
There we go. Takes a little bit too much of her color away.
Oh yeah, can you go larger on the...
Sorry, guys.
Why do you...
You know what it is? I think I recently switched my header there to only, I don't know, to do that, and so I keep tricking myself and thinking that I'm not in.
Here,
I don't know. That
or
doesn't
you
make
can
any
just
sense,
grab
but-
that and move it over. That way you could always have the top menu. Just extend your Photoshop.
That little guy? That's
Yeah.
a good idea.
That was a good one.
Yeah. Sorry, everybody.
Yeah. Oh, you're good.
Yeah. Looking pretty good here. Maybe another.
Yeah, it's a tough one.
It is. I could.
Jack wants some sweat to her face, or her makeup melting, or...
Random question. How do you duplicate a group in place when you have multiple art boards?
Yeah.
In new Photoshop. Control J, just throw it on a different artboard. Huh.
I don't know, Ahmed. I don't have an answer for you.
You have multiple. Oh, I think
Maybe Tim can help you.
maybe I know what he's
And
talking
that's
about.
a good place to post. That's a good chance for the Discord channel as well. Anything that we don't get to or don't know or don't have time to cover, throw it in the Ask a Question in Discord, and somebody who knows can get back to you if it's possible. And
yeah, what was I gonna say? Oh, Ahmed, I don't quite know if this is what you're talking about, but you can, so I've got documents that are the same size here, and I'll just, again, stamped visible. If I just drag over here, it doesn't go in place, but if I hold Shift while I'm doing that, then it drops it in exactly in place. So hopefully that answers your question.
it'd be nice if there's a modifier to the, Command J or Control J to duplicate. If there's, maybe it's a modifier that'll paste it in place.
You can go duplicate. So let's see. I think if I go duplicate layer here, you can see how rarely I use the menus. I can pick which document, and I can put it here. And I think if I do that, it also goes in place, which it did. But that's all assuming your canvas is the same size, and if it's not, then
maybe that's the problem. Are the artboards the same?
Yeah.
So he's talking about artboards. But cool, man. This is looking good. Make some more adjustments. Do you need more Does she need more contrast?
I don't know, what do you think? She needs something. You know what? Some of it might be.
I think she needs.
I think her shirt could be a different color.
I think she needs to be
here.
a touch brighter, and she needs a little more contrast.
Yeah, I wish. So I'm using the magnetic lasso tool and changing the modes as I need to.
Marissa Mayer needs to go eat, but she doesn't want to miss anything. So we'll wait here for you.
Yeah.
If you could just stop what you're doing.
I'm hungry.
Until she gets back.
You want to grab lunch?
Yeah. So you're gonna do something different with her shirt, huh?
Yeah, we'll see if it makes her pop a little bit. This might need finessing later, but I don't want to waste the time until I know that I like it. So I'll use a gradient map. White is the hardest to change. Like making white to black is difficult. I think I missed layers.
You can't just invert it. I know you can't.
Let's make it kind of red. How's that look? Well, I don't know. What do we think?
I think she needs to be brighter. I think she needs to, like, I think it looks like it's supposed to be daytime in that scene, and she needs to have more pop to her.
Yeah, all right. I like it. Kind of wanted her to look a little bit more backlit, but
exactly. Yeah, that too. And maybe just a touch, because I think that's pretty extreme, by the way. But who am I? I'm just peanut gallery. I'm just sitting here.
Let's see what happens.
And I don't know. I guess you try it one way and see if it works. If it doesn't, because it's.
Yeah.
The more you change it, the more the more I realize that you had it probably the right the first time.
Well,
that looks too bright. I actually like this. Like this one looks good.
Right now?
What do you think, Paco? Does it look pretty good? Is that realistic? Is it looking realistic, Paco? We need your opinion, Jan Eric, as well. Charles, if there's any ideas, do we need to do a splash of? Does it need more of a splash of gold, or is it selling it? Maybe it's good.
I mean, again, a little bit like the last image. I'm happy with it being.
And this was only one of the
stylized.
Weren't you going to do a couple of things?
Yeah.
Different subject. Okay, we don't need to beat it to death, but.
Right, exactly. I think I liked the white better.
Yeah, I like the white.
And we're only going to use a sliver of this image anyways.
Okay. That looks better. That's looking
a little better.
I think so.
Yeah.
I think that looks a little better.
I kind of want that.
7up Design Studio says beautiful. Jan Eric
Thanks, 7up Design.
Did say that she did look a tad dark, so I agree. Oh, that's it. You know, maybe not that extreme.
Starting to do something.
But yeah, I guess that's looking better. And this might be one of those cases where we step away when we go back to it.
Yeah, that's a good recommendation, yeah. Those to be bright.
I'm good at.
It's looking pretty good.
That does, yeah. I definitely, I feel like color lookup will just kind of unify the whole thing.
I do like having a little bit of that smoke back there, but yeah, maybe we'll step away for a bit and come back to this one. It's not perfect, but it's looking pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah, so let's group these and call it fire. And do the same thing again. Duplicate.
Did she start the fire? Did she start the fire like with her eyes or something?
Maybe. They look like they could start a fire. Okay, now we're gonna change it up kind of completely. Let's keep it a little bit gray here. So now I want to do like a really graphic, like printed looking technique that changes things up completely from what I've done before. So I'm gonna give her a little bit of a glow.
Ooh, Jack. I don't know if I'm saying your name right, but I love the idea of adding a blur to the bottom to get the effect of hot air in the flame image. I mean, don't do it now, but like, that's a good like out of the box thinking. I'm into it. Like thinking what are these physical properties? How do they affect her? So.
Okay, so now let's just.
You're gonna do an entirely different style, huh?
I'm gonna try. See how this goes.
This is live, folks. We don't know what's gonna happen. We don't know how this is gonna turn out.
I'm gonna try another HDR toning layer or adjustment. And this time I'm gonna crank it pretty high, I think. Let's see, bring those highlights down just a bit. And I want detail pretty high. I think, so I can really exaggerate the treatment here, and it will probably help me. You'll see why in a second when I sort of do this graphic treatment to it.
That looks cool.
Whoa.
Hello.
Hey. That's a little bit too much. So the gamma, I think, adjusts, kind of brings the highlights and the shadows closer together. So the higher you go with gamma, the darker the lights get and the lighter the shadows get. So in this case, I don't really care about banding. I just want to get detail and kind of the right exposure for this image. That looks pretty good.
This is such a great image. I mean, these are all looking cool. All these treatments.
Okay, I'm gonna call that HDR again.
It almost looks like a drawing, like an illustration. It pushes it that way.
Kind of the point here. So now I'm going to duplicate this again. Actually, first let's just clean up a little bit of housekeeping. We don't need this anymore. I forgot to save my settings, so if we have to do it again, we'll have to start all over, but that's all right.
That's coming from a man who's dealt with like all the changes all the time. Saving settings, right? You're like, I gotta recreate that on a different image or whatever.
It's funny, now already looking back at this, I see things that I wish I could change, but I'll deal with that later. Okay, so duplicate this document. Merged is fine. We're gonna go up to mode. By the way, when you see my screen flickering around like that, I'm hitting F. It's kind of just a bad habit, really, but I like to be able to, you know, this removes all the clutter and I can just see it, and then this shows me my tools and palettes.
You probably do that a little bit less on the desktop, or maybe not, because on your desktop you have this second
I have my
monitor.
palette monitor with,
So nice.
It is, a little bit hard to work on a laptop screen when you're used to working on 60 inches of real estate.
Trust me, I want to have a laptop that has a flip-out screen, a secondary flip-out screen. Wouldn't that be awesome?
That would be sweet.
All your palettes. And technically, you could use something like AstroPad or Duet that will extend your desktop to your iPad, and that you can use that as a second screen. So anyways.
I have used that and loved it. When I used it, it was a few months ago, and they've probably resolved this issue now, but they were having problems with the Wacom tablet.
AstroPad?
I was using Duet.
Or sorry,
it wouldn't,
Duet.
It wouldn't...
with Wacom.
Wouldn't recognize my Wacom when I was using Duet. Okay, so I'm going to... For some reason, you have to do this in 2 steps. So I just went to color or image mode and grayscale, and now I have to go back up there, image mode, bitmap. And I'm going to hit OK. OK. That's fine. Halftone screen. So you've got these options here. For what I'm doing right now, I want it on halftone screen. I'm kind of going for like a comic booky, you know, printed stylization here. So
okay.
And then this I always have to experiment with. So there are filters that do this, by the way. But they just don't work as well. This is a more, it's a more accurate. Accurate is probably not the right word, but this is, I think, what they would actually use to print this image, as opposed to just sort of a filter which cheats it. Anyway, so I don't know how many lines I want here, or frequency, what the angle is, but
something you'd play
with. I'm gonna go like that.
Because that's gonna depend on the resolution.
Pretty good, but I want it.
And how did you get to that again?
So,
the halftone screen?
Image mode bitmap.
Image mode bitmap.
Yep.
And that
you can do some different things here.
So those are all different patterns, bitmap patterns, right?
So Yeah, you guys should play with those. They're kind of fun to play with.
Yeah, do that again. Like, yeah.
So let's see. Last time I thought they were the dots were a little bit too big, so we're gonna up the frequency to 15, and leave those the way they are for now. And that's pretty good. I don't know how it looks online for you guys, but that's
look at that.
What I've got going on.
Really cool.
Now.
So you think this is? Did you say this is actually what they would do to print?
Well, I guess I've never worked at a print shop. It at least mimics that in a more sort of accurate way than. So I can show you the.
Can you? Yeah.
I could go up here and filter. Let's see. I don't actually know where it is because I never really use it.
Yeah, it's gosh, I don't know where it is either. Not offhand. Maybe under stylize.
Stylize. Anyway, let's try filter gallery. Artistic. Well.
Tim might know.
Oh,
Tim.
Sketch maybe.
Oh, maybe.
I think there's maybe I've seen a few different ones. Halftone pattern.
There we go. Okay.
So it just doesn't work as well. It still leaves a lot of gray in the image, I think.
That's for sure.
You know, and these are like blurry little.
Yeah, it's totally, yeah.
I guess I can up this contrast. So it's working pretty well, but I prefer to do it the other way. These are, I don't know. I think it's not quite as nice.
Thank you, Tim. Filter, pixelate, color, halftone. But anyways, I'm just digging this. This looks great. This is awesome. Like, I like this look, so.
Sweet.
Thank you so much.
Okay, so I'm gonna, now you can't, if I were to try to drag this over now, nothing happens because they're different modes. So now I have to go back, image mode, grayscale. And I think once it's grayscale, it'll go over for me, and it does. Now I'm gonna.
So if you are dragging one image to another file, if it's not dragging, check your image mode.
Yes.
Is that correct?
Yeah, when you're doing this. I'm gonna give myself a little background here. Again, I'm just gonna do this really quickly because it's not very interesting.
Tim, I think the color halftone, does that give you the like CMYK dots? Or basically it gives you color dots?
Yeah, I want black and white and to be able to adjust that later, so that's why. All right, layers, a little bit darker.
Very Liechtenstein of you, says Charles.
I wish. Okay.
What are they? Oh, they're Bandai dots. That's what they're called. Aren't they called
that sounds familiar.
Bandai dots or something?
I don't know.
You see them in comic books and stuff.
Okay. I'm gonna leave the settings the same as I had them before, and now we've got an all black and white image. So this leaves no pixels gray. It's all pure black and white, which I kind of like. Okay. So you can only have one layer in this mode, which is why my action there to, whatever, name it, didn't work. Nope, wrong one. There we go.
And you're just kind of giving her a background.
I'm giving her a background, exactly.
And
so
yes, you are right, Jason. Brad's crushing it today. You could be crushing it too, by the way.
Whoa.
Hello.
I'm falling today almost.
He's almost crushed his legs here in the studio. But basically, in less than 20 minutes, we're going to review the designs that have been submitted. You can check out the challenge tab. We'll dive into that. This is cool, man.
So now we've got sort of a simple file. This was the, below it is the layers that we made before, but what I'm really going to use is just these two layers now. And I'm going to colorize them.
Love your shortcuts, man. I love it that you're using, like, seriously.
Remind me.
It's fun watching you just move fast.
sort of behind the scenes there. I've just linked. So Command Option G links and unlinks, or clips and unclips, I think they call it, a layer. So. Let's.
Another slow clap for this, man. I love this whole idea. Look at this.
That's kind of cool. I didn't even know I wanted that, but I kind of like it for now. We can adjust this later when we get everything together.
So halftone effect, applying a gradient map, allowing you to pick you're only picking those 2 colors. That's perfect.
Yeah, for the moment. Let's make that like a red or something, or maybe. Oh, this bugs me. I have to make sure that my layer is selected, not the mask, when I want to sample a color there. Now I can.
Yeah, kind of maybe that one common color.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, one color in common to kind of tie it together.
Yeah. Anyway, we can go back and adjust that later. I'm not great with color in the sense that it takes me hours sometimes to get a palette that I like.
I really like this like peachy color that you have. Well, I don't even know what you call it. But, I don't know.
Yeah, salmon?
Salmon?
Maybe?
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Nice.
I think we're going to start putting these together now, and then if we have time to maybe
Let's
explore
do
some
it.
other treatments at the end, we can do that. So
Fun.
Yeah.
Girl,
I'm going back and forth on this one. I'm going to try one other little thing. I just merged all, and now I'm adjusting the levels. It's funny how red always sort of adjusts differently than, I can never get it to look brighter, just more saturated. Whoa, lost it all together. Let's undo that.
Ahmed's complimenting you on your color choices, by the way.
Thanks,
Really
Ahmed.
says they're unbelievable, beautiful, man. Thanks.
Well, we'll see how they work together. We haven't really seen anything yet, but hopefully.
That's a good point.
So this might look weird. Let's see. So I've got a shortcut for Gaussian blur, or Gaussian.
Okay.
I don't know how you say that. Gaussian.
I say Gaussian.
Gaussian. Yeah.
Gaussian.
I'm gonna go 60 on that,
Gaussian.
and then put this new thing on screen.
Yep.
I
remember doing this.
Now I've got some kind of glowy highlights that are a little bit too strong, but you know, we're just playing around. I recently watched some Bob Ross videos. I should channel my Bob Ross.
Channel your Bob Ross.
Make some pretty little fire.
Exactly. As you have a picture of a woman who looks like exploded something with her eyes.
Arsonist. Yeah. Okay.
That'd be.
Close. Ooh, I don't want to quit. Cancel. NW. Don't save. NW. Don't save. Okay. I'm gonna shift drag this over to here. I'm gonna shift drag. I don't need that. I'm gonna shift drag this to here. And now, do I have a template open? I do. Got all 3 in here. I already have that labeled. I don't have that labeled. Kind of dig that crop.
Oh, so are you going with this is the poster size?
This is
Something
the
like
poster size, sort of a random
Okay. Sweet.
template poster size, but so I think I like the way that, well, we'll see. Okay, so I'm gonna just I kind of want them to look rough, I think. I can adjust this later. Don't like that. And I can already see that I don't love the way these colors interact together. So I might change it a bit, but
yeah.
Again, I don't want to fall into a black hole of fiddling with color for hours. So
yeah.
I Okay, I think I want this one down there. And
Jason said guys like you makes him want to quit. He just wants to hang it all up.
Don't do it,
enough. There's
Jason.
too many things that I need to know. I'm done. That's what he's saying. Don't do it, man. This is for you. Yeah.
it's funny, we'll see if we get this to a place I like it. I sort of came up with this idea as a way to show you guys a bunch of different techniques and things.
And I love that idea, just and using the same image and obviously like 3 different looks.
Yeah.
Maybe they'll work together, maybe they won't.
Maybe we'll get it there. We're gonna keep playing. You know, the narcissist in me wants to have a portfolio piece to show you guys, but that's not the point, I don't think. So let's see if we can get it.
And maybe you just end up with a couple with like different slices or something. And even if you want to, maybe you make a couple versions. You could always get like the audience vote as well.
Yeah.
Like those, that seems to go together.
It's kind of working.
And then actually, you know what? You have the original image too.
That's true. I could put that in there. Maybe I will, because I feel like it does kind of beg for one more stripe. But I'm actually liking this for the eye, or at least next to the dark one, better. Nope. Let's sample that pink and see what happens.
Hello, Christina. Good to have you here.
I liked it better before, actually. They were kind of similar.
I like it, you know, I want those colors to match. And often that's the case. If you have 2 colors that are close to being the same, your eye wants to make them match. So essentially, if you're trying to pick colors.
What's going on here? What did I do? Layers. Oh, I see. I don't have these linked, so we're getting, there we go.
I agree. Robbie Doyle mentions the levels history brush has his mind racing with ideas. And I think that is
it's really fun to use.
Cool. There's too many things that I've learned, and just cool looks that you created in a short amount of time.
I hope so.
Yeah, I think these 2 are the more successful of the images, and honestly, the original looks great. The fire one is the one that needs to probably be like,
I feel like I could get that there, but it might take me a couple hours, so I'm just not gonna deal with it right now.
Perfect.
I don't think.
Into it.
We'll see. But I kind of like this.
Save this. So this is like, I would almost like say, do you do that? Like this one's done, let's set it aside, maybe work on another idea. Or work with different, I don't know.
I think I should do that more often, to be honest. It's kind of a bad habit, maybe, to like keep a document open longer than I should and noodle. Yeah. We don't have a choice right now. We're gonna keep on noodling. That's, I guess, never true, but let's try your idea and bring the original image up here.
Yeah.
I guess we can duplicate that. So I'm option dragging up there. And I'm gonna replace that with black. I guess I'm gonna delete everything but the original image in there. There we go.
She's back.
There we go. Okay, let's see.
I like it. Jan Eric, you're right. It reminds me of Marvel's Phoenix. Is that right? No, wait. Marvel's Phoenix? Yeah, you're right.
Don't ask me. I'm not the guy.
It's, oh, what's that? I don't remember either.
You know, I don't know if this is useful, but it took me a long time to figure this shortcut out. But to go back and forth between your layer mask and your actual layer, you can hit Command tilde and Command backslash. So I don't know if you guys can see that that's toggling the selection.
Yeah. Okay.
That can be pretty useful sometimes.
Yeah, I like this. I like something like this. I like having that original image in there. It just kind of does something for me, I personally.
Yeah, I'm with you, I think.
And I like how you are kind of focusing on. I mean, that eye is so strong.
And I mean, in a way, it's a shame to lose. You know, I still do like just this, but. Oh,
I know.
You know.
I'm kind of into the halftone one myself. I'm really into that halftone one. I just think that's a cool look that I personally have never done before, and now I want to.
Yeah. Play around with it. Okay. I mean, let's add the fire one. We made it. Might as well put the fire one in there. Right? What's going on here? Oh, yeah.
Yeah, Dark Phoenix. That's the name of the movie. The new X-Men movie. And, yeah.
All right. We got this funny ray thing going on. I don't know.
It's kind of like, it looks like it's a, yeah, I like this one. It's fun, that's just fun to do. It's like this, you know, four different stories about this particular person.
Right.
Like that's what this is telling me.
Yeah, we're not making a very iconic, or I don't know. It's definitely a bit of a mess, but like I said, that's.
Hello, Rich Cornwell from Michigan. Good to have you here. We're in here, beautiful San Francisco. Beautiful view of the Golden Gate Bridge out these gorgeous windows.
I'm not even from San Francisco,
but you're repping, right? That's awesome.
I was born here, so I get to, but
yeah.
I grew up in Portland and live in Los Angeles now.
Yeah.
What did Tim's question for switching between the layer mask and the layer?
Yeah.
Oh, do you remember?
That's what you were doing. That's when you were using the shortcut keys. Backslash and then tilde.
Yep. Exactly.
But I don't remember the one that Jesus was showing me for. That he was showing me the same thing. Jesus did that exact same shortcut. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, but he showed lots of things. And yes, music by DJ Pac-Man. I guess it's getting pretty funky right now. I wish
we could hear that music.
I know.
That's kind of interesting.
This is definitely better.
That's given me like a harmony that I like a little better.
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree.
I think that maybe our original image could use just a little bit of that color, kind of. How are we doing for time?
We are doing fantastic. Less than 5 minutes, though.
Cool.
It's very cool.
Which did fire copy. That's just original. Let's try color balance on this guy. Highlights. Just bring it into the world a little bit, I think.
Christina wants to see the finishing result, or the finished result.
Like, what are you saying? I'm boring people?
Yeah, well, I'm
hurry up with it already.
Is she basically saying you're obviously not done with it? I'm like, I thought it was done.
Yeah,
I want to see the finished result because this is obviously not finished.
Yeah, well, no, people might be a little disappointed today.
What are you? You're playing with color balance?
I am
on the
just on the original.
Oh, okay, the original.
I was seeing if I could get it to sort of live together a little bit more, but and it does kind of a bit. It just
I think it
kind of gave it a little bit of the the pink.
You kind of warmed it up. Yeah, it feels a little warmer, which I'm into. But it's good you're using a lot of I feel like there's some complementary colors in there. You have what, like purple and yellow. You got some red. And I guess I like the color schemes so far.
I mean, that's like cooler. I don't know. Right? What do you guys prefer?
I think the cut is a little... Yeah, what does everybody think? Does it need the realist?
No music for the hosts.
The real image or not? Yes, we are actually in a... We don't hear the music.
It's
and I
very
joke
sad.
about being in this, enjoying a beautiful view, but we're in a windowless room and it's quiet.
Yeah, perfectly quiet. 3 colors. I think I agree. Sasha's input, we got to go with that.
Yeah. Okay, just the 3 colors. No
Yeah,
original
she doesn't
image.
like the.
Okay,
She
done.
doesn't like the image. I think I
Hey.
agree with her.
You're the boss.
All right. So now, I don't know. In the
You
name
sometimes, I've seen you, would you throw a color lookup on this?
over the whole thing.
Yeah. Or no, maybe
Let's
not.
try it. It hadn't occurred to me to do that, but I mean, each
I'm not saying
layer.
that's a good idea. But yeah, I think we should try it. I mean, if we're just playing around, then
Right.
will this help tie the colors together? Maybe it will destroy. That gives it a little more pop.
Kind of interesting, yeah. Yeah, some of these tie it together in a way.
I liked a couple of those. You know,
Which,
fun to go through.
oh, that's funny. Okay, so I was thinking, how does it look, by the way, if we just do 2? I think that's more
Sorry, Anita, for taking away the mystery of where we're at and how we're not hearing the music. Sorry. Let's pretend like there are windows and we're in a beautiful view. And
Yeah. Let's see.
I think with this composition, I almost want to, I don't know. Does her face need to be a little like brighter there?
Right.
Or not? I don't know.
I mean, we can.
I mean, honestly,
maybe
we'd
the
be
trick
tweaking
is
this
to,
to death. Maybe it's not. I don't know.
Right.
I don't know if I have any ideas.
I hate that one.
Maybe black and white with multiply overlay colors.
I mean, yeah, this is a perfect example of a comp that I could just noodle with forever.
Yeah.
And I think I can get it to a place where I like it. But maybe the sort of final touches that I have in mind will get us there. We'll see what happens.
Yeah.
I wanted to somebody give me a name or something. Or what's a short word
You
we
do
should
have to
call this
title
guy?
it, and then our clock's at 00 as well.
Uh-oh.
Just FYI.
Hide the fire, keep the real. Could try that. No one's given me a title yet.
Yeah, it'll be like a little bit of a delay.
Okay.
But we could use a title for this. We'll look at those suggestions. We'll also review the various designs that we've gotten in today. So
Let's do it.
let's do it. What's that? Oh, mine? Zoop. You got it. Let's do it. So this was about... So the whole goal is to kind of Photoshop somebody in like next to yourself, or take something or someone out is the goal. So that's kind of the Photoshop challenge. And let's just kind of peruse through some of these. I always like looking at selections that they have to do. Like, let's see how they did with their selections of turning that,
They did pretty
giving
well.
it a different background. Good job, right? Especially right there.
Yeah.
Oh, by the
Looks-
way, like even like
Definitely.
that ring even looks like it's getting, maybe it could be getting reflection from the room. It might have been a missed selection or whatever, but it actually kind of works. Good job, Willie. Doing some design. Here we go. That's what I'm talking about.
What? Octopus? Love it.
Is that
I should have put that dude in the thing I did yesterday.
Yeah. This is fun.
That's great.
I bet you all four of these guys are like, they all look related. They all look like they're brothers or something. They kind of have almost the same mouth. But yeah, that's pretty hilarious. Pretty hilarious. And again, just like maybe add a little, you know, shadow and stuff. I want this to be real, like realistic. And I don't know if it's eating his head or if it is his head.
I mean, so that's a good example of, it's going to be real hard to make that look realistic because the guys have such harsh highlights on them and just a different light source altogether. You'd have to spend a long time painting to get that to like really look real. Maybe do a casual eye, you could do a few things and make it, but I get the feeling that was just kind of a joke.
Oh, here we go. Perfect. Luau with 1996 Matthew McConaughey. This is exactly what we're talking about.
Great. Head strips. I've spent a lot of time putting heads onto other bodies before. His neck probably needs a little bit of shadow or something, but yeah, that's pretty good. Yeah,
that's super fun. Maybe he's a little yellow compared to everybody else. Doesn't make it a little warmer. But good job. That's hilarious.
Yeah.
That's exactly what we're looking for. Some Insta stories. Let's go with Gerard's The Little Witch. So this is a little freaky. There's a little freaky.
The girls.
The girls. You know, the girls are just hanging out.
But it's a good Photoshop job because I can't really tell what's going on there. Was that person back there? Probably not. Huh?
I don't think so. I think this is the Photoshop person. So they could have taken out somebody in the middle and inserted the witch. Gerard. And this is Val's. This is the one that she made, or that actually. Let me double check. No, no, they actually did this.
Oh, she.
This is a. Oh, that's
She's
so
getting
funny.
impaled.
Oh, that's so sad. Oh, okay, Ken, thank you. This is tough too, by the way. Like extending this shelf. Like just doing this removal job. Good job there. Like, but again, this is the freaky. She's like, hey.
Man, I wanna.
It's freaky. This is freaky.
Awesome. It's almost Game of Thrones day.
Yeah.
Go back.
I don't know who that is, but anyway. What's that?
For that, the one where she's alone. That guy. So people tend to want to clone or sample things from an image to do this, but I kind of learned a trick, which was just using the old-fashioned paintbrush and just and color and just literally painting him out when you've got something as flat as a wall there.
Okay, just straight up use.
Just sample those colors and paint kind of. It takes a little bit of practice. I do like a base of a solid color gray, and then I'll set my brush to like 10 or 20%, and then just slowly paint in with a soft brush, so it blends a little bit easier. You don't get those weird like cloning kind of bits there.
Yeah. That is a good call. Girls with who's that? Khloe Kardashian.
That's good. Same light source. Basically, looks like the girls on the right are on a cloudier day. But,
yeah, good point.
They're all outside.
Yeah, it's a pretty good one. So great job, Rosie. Here we go. Gerard updated it again. Okay, so let me just see what he says. Nothing, but yeah. There's another one. Let's go Mohammed's. Okay, this is good. Thank you so much for showing the sort of the before and then the results.
Oh yeah, that's great.
Yeah, good job. I think what was used here is maybe like a color lookup or something. I feel like there was could be wrong, but it works. So good job, Mohammed.
Looks great.
Tim's a pirate. Great job. Let me go in here and I will add some comments and everything. I really like this one. I think Rosie did a great job. I think
Supernatural.
Most of the battle, wouldn't you say, is just finding the right photos, like with the right lighting.
And also, by the way, my least favorite part of the job, when I have to spend hours looking through stock photography or something, or to find exactly the right picture. It can be tedious, but it's always worth it.
Shout out to Cece and Matthew McConaughey here too, because that's super fun.
Winner.
This works out well because you don't notice him initially. You're like looking around, oh wait, that's Matthew McConaughey.
Right.
That's awesome.
I love this sort of implication that he time traveled. Like this luau happened yesterday, you know, but 1996 Matthew McConaughey.
Yep. I'm into it. Great job. Very cool. Yeah, everybody did a wonderful job. Again, that's the challenge, and feel free to continue the discussion. Those are in design feedback. You can ask questions, of course, everything through Discord and all that good stuff. So yeah, ooh, let's switch back over to your screen because.
So I already actually like this a little bit better. I think it was just kind of lacking a focal point, and having just a little bit of type kind of gives you something more to look at. It's never going to be an award-winning piece of key art, but it's helping.
It's pretty cool, man.
And I had a couple other things I wanted to do, so we'll, yeah, try and do that. Okay, so I'm going to actually change this title depending upon which panel it's in.
And you could do a number of tricks, basically. You could do that. I like the idea of the type getting ripped a little bit.
Yeah. Well,
is that what you're gonna do? Is offset it?
I'm gonna offset it a little bit, and I'm gonna put some shadows under here, kind of, and make these look like kind of, yeah, different panels a little bit more.
Anita, thank you so much for joining us. I know you have to go. Thank you for hanging out. And this is definitely like worth a rewatch because you created 3 different looks.
Yeah.
You first cleaned up the image. I really like this font too, by the way.
The middle one?
Oh, I'm digging the middle one, yeah.
Yeah, so that's kind of like a little bit more of a vintagey look, kind of. And I wanted that on the halftone. And then...
Can you line up, I don't know, like, am I reading that as a W?
Good point.
Maybe it's just me.
I mean...
Like, yeah, if you push it the other way, I think you could offset it the other way or something, but yeah, like that looks, yeah, you do what you want. You're the boss. You don't have to listen to me at all, you know.
Oops. Why are we...
Yes, like Tim said, yeah. Sawedge. Takes the edge off when you pronounce it Sawedge. You're
by
so
the way,
Sawedge.
Someone up there said call it Miss Savage. I wanted to go with something shorter, but I took that suggestion, and so that's why we ended up with Savage.
I think it's a perfect word.
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah. Why did this happen to me?
Well,
I don't remember what I did.
You changed the color because it's.
Oh, I guess I. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Fine.
Well.
Sure. Let's go with it for now. We're gonna make this guy the yellow. And maybe we'll just, for time's sake, use the same font in the 3rd panel, which is D-Fire. There we go.
Yeah, I love it. I love it. I love it how that balances it out. And I love how that's the it's that light yellow color. It's just nice.
We want that to be probably back to light yellow. Yep.
Yeah, I mean, I think that works.
Cool. Let's, that can go away. Original we're doing without for now, so I'm deleting that. And now I'm gonna add some shadows, I think.
Would you just add shadows to kind of offset the text? Is that kind of the goal? Or just for fun?
Partially to show you how I would add shadows.
Please do.
Partially
because
I think it might look cool. We'll see what happens.
Yeah.
We got what?
We have like, we still have like 20 minutes.
Yeah, cool.
Or sorry, 20 minutes? No, we have like 10 minutes.
Yeah, we can do that. Where are we? I'm in the wrong layer, that's the problem. Fire. Okay. Oh god, gotta clean that up before we do this. This is not good. So we'll just do a straight. Well,
I just love that dot pattern. I love how that looks when you. It's so fun to look at.
I don't know why I'm doing this like wavy line thing. Normally I would do it like, you know, straight lines, but I guess I just wanted to change the pace. So.
And it kind of lends to the title. You know.
Yeah. Right.
It you know, looking like it's maybe ripped or something.
Okay. So. Let's see, maybe this will look tacky, but shadows are all about kind of finessing it, I think. And you know, this would be the shortcut way to do it, but I'm not happy enough with that. So I'm gonna go warp, and that's a glitch that sometimes happens, so we're just gonna ignore that and pretend like we know it's happening. And now blur that part. So as it gets further away from the source, it's a little bit blurrier. Sasha doing something similar. She used the smudge tool, I think. But for this, it's gonna be good enough to do this, I think.
And maybe it'd be a touch, technically be a touch lighter, maybe?
Yeah, so I'll do that in a second. I'm gonna change the color.
Anel likes the rip. Anel savage. Savage.
Why is that? Let's take one more yellow out of there. There we go. So now I'm adjusting the color of the shadow, just so it's not strictly black. And I'm going to now lastly, let's darken this a little bit more. Do that. And now where it's further away, I'm going to paint away, to your point.
And
so with my brush on like 10% opacity, I'm just going to kind of hit it a few times.
Did you use is that just you start with straight black initially? Did you? For the shadow, is that straight black?
I mean, yeah, I'm using a curve.
Okay.
So, sure, I guess I kind of, you know, let's warp that back a little bit. Just kind of a subtle thing.
Yeah, I like it. It looks like it's torn. It's like you're revealing a poster underneath the poster or something.
Probably don't have time to do it right now, but maybe like the final step would have been to go then, just to sort of show you see what it would look like. I guess I want to show myself also. So if this were ripped, you'd kind of get that going on. So,
like yeah, okay.
You know, and I would pull like a paper texture or rip texture or something like that.
Yeah.
And then we'd really get this sense that it's ripped there.
Yeah.
So
that's very cool.
Turn that off for now, but now I'll try and quickly do one more shadow on our halftone layer. So
Abdullah wants to know how you did the shadow with curves.
Okay.
You can,
I'm about to do it again, so I will show her. So I'm starting with a selection of this top layer that I want the shadow to come from. And then in my halftone layer here, I'm just going to make a curve layer. Got that shortcut. So I hit Command F1. You can go to the menu down here. And well, so we can see what we're doing. I'm going to move it. There we go. So yeah, I mean, it's that simple. I could also have not started with that selection, and I could just kind of
it's pretty brilliant, man. Like
paint.
I feel like an amateur the fact that I've just been painting shadows when I think this way is more accurate.
Yeah,
right?
You can certainly control more the color. You can adjust it more later.
And it just, I think it would just be, it's just more realistic.
Yeah.
You're darkening that part of the image. I don't know.
And yeah. So I just showed kind of that you can do it, rather than starting with that selection, you could just paint it in also. My brush was on the wrong setting, so I've got these bumps that I don't like.
Oh, okay.
We'll
we
just
will
leave it there for
overlook
now.
them.
Yeah, I think people will forget that. Anyway, so let's take a little bit more of the, give it some color. And again, if you guys don't know exactly what I'm doing here, I'm just playing with the different channels within a curves adjustment layer to kind of give that a tint. And that's good enough. Maybe I'll darken it again a little bit. And I'll go in and blur it. So here's where I'd use a keyboard shortcut that I don't need to. You can, it's telling me this, I'm in the blur tool, it's giving me that no symbol because I'm in the, it means I'm not on the layer mask. So if I hit Command /, I'm on the layer mask, and all of a sudden I can blur.
Hello, Olivia. Good to have you here. We are just kind of wrapping up, just so you know. This is definitely worth a rewatch. You can check out the replay tab. Yesterday's was amazing. Today you knocked out, well, one poster, but basically it's like 3 different designs,
Yeah,
which is awesome.
Today was more a demonstration of technique than design prowess, but you know.
No, man, I loved it all. It's fantastic.
So we need let's get a, I think we've got the shadows good enough. We need, what were you gonna say?
Oh no, I was just thinking out loud. Like I was like, what if these sparks were coming out of that bottom poster on top of the...
Maybe I'll,
but maybe
yeah,
not.
and it's kind of weird. You actually can't really even tell they're sparks because we colorized it so much, or there's fire, but it just is sort of a cool color treatment. So let's do, what do I want to do here? I feel like the whole point of this is to make movie posters. So let's put that building block in there in a copy line again, right?
Oh yeah. Ooh,
but
yeah.
I don't quite know where to put that.
Can we think of a copy line?
Yeah, someone give me a copy line.
Savage.
Maybe,
I think this should be about like...
Okay. Let's do...
Hello, Eleonora. Yeah, thanks so much, David. Thanks for the compliments. Yeah, Brad's the man. And we're all just looking to grow in our own way, especially through just having conversations with people. So keep the conversation going on Discord. Because thank you, Tim, for hosting tips and tricks and just being available. Feel free to ask questions, stuff like that.
Thanks.
What's in your closet? That's scary. What's in your closet? I don't know. The night you reveal yourself. It is very girl interrupted. I was thinking something along the lines of like multiple personalities. Revenge is a dish best served hot. Or yeah, best served hot.
Where do I have? Let's see. Sorry, I'm trying to think of where I have a file hiding on my computer that, whatever, it's not that important. Let's go back to this.
Meg Werlin's in chat. Good to have you here. Meg kicked off the day with at 9:30 a.m., by the way, doing some UX UI.
Oh, hey Meg.
So good to have you here. Oh man, Blanca, not to worry, you're wondering how he made the textures. Hey, there's a whole video we just did that you could watch on how. First off, again, that dot pattern is awesome. That's what I think you mean by textures, I assume.
Yeah. We're just gonna...
I think it should be like, a funny thing happened on the way to the grocery store. Just kidding. Act like it's like a romantic comedy or something. I don't know.
Yeah, we didn't really give my movie much of a plot here.
What's in your closet? Savage. Tim, what is savage to? Sawage, you read Tim's comment there. Sawage 2, Revenge of the Typo. Are you still seeing Sawage? It's
like
kind
it.
of fun to say.
It is fun to
Sawage.
say. Yeah, it's not great, but
It's a tough one. That copy block's tough. Could you?
So sometimes, by the way, like I have designed myself into a hole where I sort of spend all this time on a comp, and then at the end, I like can't find a place to put the type that looks good. It happens, and eventually you usually solve it. I think if I had more time, I would experiment with different things here.
Yeah.
But for now, we're just gonna do this.
Yeah.
Bring this to the top. Copy line. What was it? Revenge of the. Well, we don't have a typo anymore. What do we got?
Yeah. So we can do Amon's. I don't know.
It's done of the typo.
What's in your closet? I don't know.
Well, I don't think anyone really cares, so we'll just put. What was it? Wanting more money.
Or you even do wanting more. Yeah.
Well, what did I do there?
Wanting
man.
Was this like a personal ad?
What? Yeah, where did that go?
Wanting more money.
Yeah.
Sure. Oh, we should have done a playoff of like her name.
Do we know her name? Is she just
No.
Savage? Miss Savage still?
Wanting more Mandy. I don't know. I'm not a copyright. Oh, Into the Void. Cool. Love is a force of nature. Isn't it though?
Who? Yeah, sure. I like that better. No offense. Ooh.
Awesome. Amon wins. Not. Congratulations. Love is a force of nature, isn't it?
Love it. Let's make that pink. And
just in time, man. Just in
time. We've got something that looks like a poster. You know, building blocks kind of help.
Amon, I'm gonna hit you up next time I need some copy help because you're just firing them at us. I'm into it.
Let's do that like that for now. And let's give it a.
Even though technically, are you
what's
thinking?
What's your birthday, Paul?
December 29th.
December.
So you got a ways to wait for this.
Yeah.
For this movie.
We'll go. Yeah, let's go there.
Three shades of randomness. Look at that, beautiful. Boom, nails it in the nick of time.
Yeah.
Look at that. Screenshot that, everybody. That looks so cool, man.
Thank you.
That is pretty cool. Right?
It came together a little bit.
Yeah.
Anybody have anything else I should do in the last like 2 minutes?
No, I don't think we have time.
Never mind.
I think we're kind of wrapping. I just love this. As we see this full screen, I'm noticing other things that I like about it. I really like the flame. What was once the flames. Like if that purple, I'm like tying those two purples together. I think that's like that. Seeing that purple down there is what does it for me. As I point to your screen that nobody can see other than you.
It's all right.
But hopefully you like it, everyone. I'm just super, super impressed. Totally into everything you did, man.
Does that mean, please tell us the shortcut of warp? It's just, I just control click. So if I have anything.
We're not sharing your screen anymore.
Oh, that's fine. All right. Hit Command T, then control click on the thing and, no.
There you go. Last tip. Getting it in under the
Savage, we'll
buzzer.
Warp Savage.
Where is that?
And then I can hit warp here, and then I can, if it doesn't go away, warp.
Yeah, so Command T, and then warp.
Should be warping, but it's, yeah, anyway, we gotta go.
Yeah, that's so cool. I gotta love it. Brad Basham, you are the man. Everybody stalk him on, I guess, Behance is where you have most of your work and everything. So well, thank you so much, my friend. We'll be back tomorrow and tomorrow morning, 9:30 a.m. with Meg Werlin. She's gonna be diving into some UX, UI design, but a fun day. And we have you back at noon tomorrow for day 3.
We'll see you then.
Well, thanks so much, friend. That was awesome.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you for joining us, everybody.